Okay, we will see the next question. The maximum electric field in reverse biased silicon PN junction is, they had given it as a 3 into 10 power 5 volt per centimeter. And they had given the doping concentration of that is ND is 4 into 10 power 16 and Na is 4 into 10 power 17. Now you need to find out what is the magnitude of reverse bias voltage, and they had given the eccentric concentration as 2.25 into 10 power 20. Okay, so you need to find out the reverse bias voltage. Now we'll see how. So we know the built-in voltage is Vt ln of NAND by Ni square. You substitute the value of NAND and Vt 0.0259, or you can write it as a 26 millivolt, right? And they had given Emax value. Now you need to find out the magnitude of reverse voltage, right? So your magnitude of reverse voltage plus built-in voltage, right? So which is equal to your E squared max of over 2E into the equation 1 over Na plus 1 over Nd, and we will find the reverse voltage as 7.18 volt, right? See, always you need to guess, first initially guess the answer and then go for attending the questions. Reason is, actually here it is the reverse voltage. Always we all know that in PN diode the reverse voltage occurs at, from starting range is from 7 to 10. Okay, so the Zener breakdown voltage mostly occurs at 7, around 6 to 7. So you first guess the answer, then you go for checking it, right? So we are equal to, we will get 7.18 volt is the answer. Now we'll go to the next question. Now we'll see the question on diffusion capacitance. Now what is actually a diffusion capacitance? Diffusion capacitance is the predominant effect in the forward bias region. That is always you should remember. Okay, right. Now they had given the question as calculate the diffusion capacitance in picofarad of a PN junction diode with mean transit time of 27.56 nanosecond and diode current of 0.34 milliamps. See, look at the question. Actually, they had given the transit time and current. But what they have asked, they asked you to find out the capacitance. In general, how will you express the capacitance? We will express the capacitance C equal to Q by V. But what they had given current and time, right? So I can express Q as, it is the amount of charge flowing per second. That is nothing but current into time by Vt, where we are representing this as a diffusion capacitance, right? And Vt is approximately equal to 26 millivolt, right? And you substitute all these values, you will get around Cd equal to 360 picofarad, right? So this diffusion capacitance, actually, in the diffusion capacitance, this time, right? This transit time, it is the minority carrier lifetime, right? That is a hole which is recombined with an electron in the n-type material, that is called the transit time, right? So it's a minority carrier lifetime, such as a hole to recombine with an electron in the n-type material. Always you remember that is going to be your transit time. Next question we'll see in the applications of devices. Actually, this question is asked in 2020 ISRO. Now they are asking to match the list. So list 1, they had given it as A varactor diode, tunnel diode, triac, pin diode. In list 2, they had given it as a high frequency switching circuit, high frequency tuning circuit, current controlled attenuator, and used in high voltage direct current systems. Okay, so I will tell you all the this. See, actually the list 2 is the applications. These are all the applications. Okay, now applications of devices. Now first I'll tell you one by one, you match yourself, then we'll check the answer, right? So the varactor diode, it is also called as voltage variable capacitance, or we can call it as a varicap, or we can also call it as a tuning capacitor, right? So their mode of operation actually depends on capacitance that exist on PN junction when the element is reverse biased. That is what your varactor diode. And why we are calling this as a tuning diode? Because it gives a quick idea of how much the capacitance will change between typical operating range of applied voltage. That is the speciality of varactor diode. So we can also call it as a tuning diode, right? So now I had given a one clue. Next we'll go to the tunnel diode. Now what is tunnel diode? Actually tunnel diode is nothing but it's a heavily doped diode, right? So due to heavy doping, there will be a reduced depletion region, which results in carriers will punch through at velocities that far exceed with the conventional diodes, right? That is what we will call it as a tunneling effect. So due to this effect, it can be used in high speed applications like switching times and computers, where the switching times are in the order of nanoseconds to picoseconds. Okay, so I had given another clue. Next we'll go to the triac. Triac is actually fundamentally a diac with a gate terminal for controlling the turn on conditions, most probably for a bilateral device in either direction. Okay, so the most fundamental application of the triac is actually in high voltage direct current power systems. This is actually a power diode only. This triac is a power diode, so it is used in high voltage direct current power system. And next you come to the pin diode. So pin diode, it is a diode with a wide undoped intrinsic semiconductor region between P and N type semiconductor. Between P and N there will be a intrinsic semiconductor which is undoped, right? So undoped itself it's a intrinsic pure semiconductor. So and it is very much appropriate for fast switches, attenuators and photodetectors, right? So I had given clue for all the list 1, right? So now we'll match. Now varactor diode will go with the tuning diode I told, so high frequency tuning circuit. And next tunnel diode, I told you that it is useful for switching times in the order of nanoseconds to picosecond. So I can go with the high frequency switching circuit. Next triac, I told you that application of triac is it is used in high voltage DC system. And pin diode, the applications are attenuator, current control attenuator, right? Now we'll see the answer. The answer is varactor diode, high frequency tuning circuit; tunnel diode, high frequency switching circuit; triac is used in high voltage DC system; pin diode, current controlled attenuator. Okay, so first you should think and then only you have to match it. Okay, now we'll go to the next problem. Now, which of the following conditions represent triode region of a MOSFET? Now we have come to the MOSFET. Now triode region, there are three regions, right? So cutoff, linear and you have the saturation region in MOSFET. So now cutoff region, right, your VGS is very much less and it is equal to 0. Now your VDS, they had given four options here. VDS is greater than VDS saturation in your ID and VGS curve, and VDS is less than VD saturation in ID VGS curve, and VDS is less than VD saturation and VDS is greater than. When VDS is greater than VD saturation, greater than or equal to, greater than, greater than or equal to, it will go into the saturation region, right? And when VDS is less, then only it will go into the linear region, nothing but the triode region, right? So the answer is the transistor is said to be in active state when it is operating in triode region. Okay, when VDS is greater than or equal to VD saturation, the transistor enter into the saturation region. So for triode region, your VDS is less than VD saturation. So your answer is option C. Next, we'll move on to the next diode. So here I have taken a circuit PN diode and I am considering all the diodes are ideal one. You know that diode ideal one means In forward bias it will conduct or it will act as a short circuit. While conducting it will act as a short circuit, and in the reverse bias it will not conduct. So during reverse bias it will act as a open circuit. Now the question which he had given here is, if D1, D2 and D3 are ideal, then which of these diodes will remain off? Now you want to check it, right? Now D1, it is forward biased, right? See here it is connected to positive, right? And here D3 is also negative, is connected to minus 10 volts. So these two are forward biased obviously, right? Now it is short circuited. Okay, right. Now your D2 is also short circuited. Now we'll see how it is. Now I had given the ground potential which is 0, right? Now we'll see which are all the diodes are remaining off, which of these diodes will remaining off condition, which will be in the on condition, right? See, we assume that all diodes are on, okay, all are ideal, so they are all replaced by a short circuit, right, according to the direction of current. And now you can apply Kirchhoff's current law also. According to Kirchhoff's current law, I2 equal to, right, sorry, I2 plus I1 equal to I3, right? So I1 plus I2 equal to I3. So I1 is equal to what? 10 by 5, which I'll get a 2 milliamps. And what about your I3? I3 also I'll get a 2 milliamps. So what is your I2? I2 is nothing but I1 minus I3, which is 0. So D2 is off. The current I1, I3 flow from P to N terminal of diode. So D1 and D3 are on and D2 is off. Okay, or by seeing the circuit itself you might have guessed that here the positive, that is anode, is grounded. Okay, obviously your D2 will be in the off condition. In the previous slide actually I might have shown that here the anode is grounded, so obviously D2 is off, right? So you should not take more time for such circuits. By seeing this itself you have to predict the answer, right? So similar kind of circuit we will see in the next. Now see another question. If the diode in the circuit shown below are ideal, then the current I flowing through the diode D1 is. So what is the current flowing through diode D1? Okay, right. See, whenever they are saying it as an ideal diode, during forward bias it will directly conduct with a zero resistance, and during reverse bias it will not conduct with an infinite resistance. Okay, now you need to calculate what is the current flowing through this. Now we'll see what is the options they had given and how to calculate it. Okay, right. Now actually they had given 9 milliamps, 5 milliamps, 0 milliamps and minus 3 milliamps. Now we'll work it on it, because here since the diode is ideal one, I made it as a short circuit. Okay, this is I. Now you mark this as I1 and you mark this as I2. Now what is the current flowing through, what is the current I2? It is nothing but 5 by 1 kilo ohm, which is 5 milliamps. And current of I1 is what? How much it is? It is 8 by 1 kilo ohm, which is 8 milliamps, right? Now what is your I? You apply KCL here. When you apply KCL, your I2 equal to, right, I2 is equal to I plus I1. So your I is equal to what? Your I2 minus I1. So which is 5 milliamps minus 8 milliamps, which I got the answer as minus 3 milliamps. Now you check, it is given in the options as minus 3 milliamps, but this is not the correct option, right? Can you guess any other option? Anyone, can you guess any other option? We got the answer as minus 3 milliamps according to the KCL which we applied, and they had clearly stated the diode is ideal one, so I made it as a short circuit here. Okay, right. Now I got the answer as minus 3 milliamps. It is given in the option also. Can anyone guess any other option? Because the answer is not correct. We will see what is the correct answer. I already told you that while dealing with such circuits, you have to be first carefully observe the circuit. Now you observe this circuit, how it looks like. Now your D1 is, see here, it is forward biased only. Your anode is connected to the positive terminal, right? It is forward biased. Now you look at D2, here this cathode is connected to negative terminal. This is also forward bias. But you carefully see here, the negative terminal of D1 is biased in such a way, here it is given to the greater voltage, which is a positive terminal of 8 volt, right? So obviously this D1 is reverse biased. When D1 is reverse biased, so it is in the open circuit. When open circuit, obviously there is no current. So our initial assumption is wrong, and the correct condition are D2 is on and D1 is off. So D1 is off and the current value is 0 amps here. This is such a tricky question asked in ISRO 2020. Now here a question, which of the following diodes are forward biased? This is also asked in 2020 BARC, right? So here P is given as a 5 volt and N is given as 10 volt, right? And here P is given as 5 volt, N is given as minus 5 volt, and here P is given as 0 and N is given as actually minus 5 volt, and P is given as here 0 volt and N is given as plus 5 volt, right? Now which of the diodes are forward biased? Now here P is given as plus 5 and N is given as plus 10, because N is more biased than the P, so it is reverse biased, so this option is ruled out, right? And next we will see here P is given to plus 5 volt, N is given to minus 5 volt, so it is perfectly forward biased, right? And now you come to the third one, P is 0 and N is actually given it as a minus 5 volt, and fourth one is, it is P is given as 0 and N is given as a plus 5 volt. Now you just tell me the answer. What will be the answer? You might have guessed by this time. If you could have guessed only 2, that is wrong option, right? Actually the options given are only 2 and 3, only 1 and 4. See, 1 is ruled out and 4 is also ruled out. Okay, so we know very well that here it is perfectly forward biased. P is given to plus 5 volt, N is given to minus 5 volt. So option 2 is there. But option 2 is with 3 or only with 2, that we have to see, right? But here I am taking the option A, which is only 2 and 3. Why? Because here P is given to 0 volt, N is given to minus 5 volt, right? See, anything other than negative potential is forward biased only, even if it is given to 0 volt, right? Anything more than negative value, right, is forward bias only. Now we'll see the answer. See, for a diode to be forward bias, the necessary and sufficient condition is voltage at P terminal must be greater than the voltage at N terminal. So in the N terminal, actually what they had given it as a minus 5 volt. So voltage at P terminal is what? It is a 0 volt. Obviously 0 is greater than cathode terminal. So your answer is A. So you have to be very careful. If they had given any diagrams like this, you have to uh, carefully observe the diagram and you have to find the answer. Okay, now we'll go to the next slide. Now we have a question on Zener diode. The 6 volt Zener diode shown in the figure has 0 Zener resistance and knee current of 5 milliamps. So they had given the Zener current as 5 milliamps. The minimum value of R, we need to find out the value of load resistance R. Okay, so that the voltage across it does not fall below 6 volt, right? We all know that Zener will act as a voltage regulator, right? Now they had given the current flowing through the Zener is 5 milliamps they had given, right? And it is a 6 volt, right? So now you need to find out what is the current as well as what is the value of resistance R, right? Now we'll see how to do it. See, I equal to 10 minus 6, 10 volt minus 6 volt over 50, which will give you 80 milliamps. And they had given the Zener current as 5 milliamps. Now you need to find out what is the load current. So your load current means the current across R. So here it is I minus I Zener, right? So which is 80 minus 5, 75 milliamps, and you need to find out the resistance. So you know the resistance V by I, so which is 80 ohms. So we got the option as C, right? Okay. Now I'll give you some of the questions as a practice quiz, right? So you try to attend these questions, and if you get any doubt I will clarify, and I'll give you the answers also. Okay.